So this is my Galactic Emperor Frieza Grade 8 deck. Pretty straightforward. You're gonna use the leader to help you untap some of your non-Grade 8 cards. But you could also use it on your Grade 8 cards if you don't have the field card, Planet Vegeta. You can obviously just use the leader's ability to put back into active mode any of your Grade 8s. But typically you'll use the effect on your non-Grade 8 card, creatures, battle cards, because you do have Planet Vegeta in the deck, of course. Alright, so Frieza's front side, auto ability, at the end of your turn, choose up to one of your battle cards and switch it to active mode. He awakens when you have 4 or less life, draw 2 cards to flip him over. His awakened form, auto, at the end of your turn, choose up to 2 of your battle cards and switch them to active mode. When this second auto ability, when this card attacks, draw a card. Pretty simple, straightforward. So let's go to the main deck. As you'll see, I got all the big Grade 8s in the deck. I don't have all their Saiyan forms. I just got their Grade 8 form. I do have King Vegeta, and I do have his Grade 8 form, and I do have Goku in his Grade 8 form, but that's about it. Just mainly because of their effects is why they're in the deck, not for any type of evolution purpose. Other than this card saying X evolve, most of the other cards don't really say evolve. They don't have the keyword evolve, but you can evolve because they say the word evolve in their card text. When you combo with this card, blah blah blah, you can evolve. So that's makes them pretty interesting. Alright, so I don't need the lower levels, so I'm just going straight. I just want to focus mainly on the big heavy hitters, the big Grade 8s, because they do trigger their own effects, because in their character slots they'll say Bardock and Son Goku, Childhood, and King Vegeta, Fasha, and Tora. And if you look at their abilities, which we'll look real quick, when a card evolves into this card, choose your opponent's leader card. No, sorry, he doesn't have that condition. Alright. During your turn, at the end of the battle, after you combo with this card, choose up to one of your Tora in your battle area and evolve it into this card. As you'll see, the character trait is Tora, so you can evolve into another copy of itself to get its auto ability, which is the second part. The second auto ability, which is when this card evolves into this card. When a card evolves into this card, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode and then KO that card. So if you have this Grade 8 Tora on the field, and then you combo with another copy of this card from your hand, right? With this card, like let's say you attack with this card, then you combo another copy of Tora from your hand, Grade 8 Tora from your hand, combo, you will get to evolve after that battle. So that way the card, the extra Tora you combo with won't go to the graveyard. It'll just go on top of the other Grade 8 Tora that you already had on the field. And then of course you get that effect, which is because it did evolve into that card, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards that's in rest mode and KO that card. So it's good that they work with each other. Like, you don't have to have their regular Saiyan form in order to get these effects. You can use just another copy of itself to get the effects, which is what I'm trying to point out. Alright, so we got the 6-drop Great Protector Grade 8 Bardock. He has the X evolve, where you can discard 2 cards from your hand into the drop area and target a yellow Bardock with energy cost 5 or more that you control in your battle area, and then obviously evolve on top of that. His character name is Bardock. He is 5 or more costs, and he's a yellow card. So obviously you can X evolve on top of a Grade 8 Bardock with a Grade 8 Bardock. So that's the good thing about the Grade 8s. They can evolve on top of each other. or themselves, I should say. And he's a blocker, 25k, double strike. And of course, when a card evolves into this card, choose your opponent's leader card in rest mode. That card cannot switch to active mode during your opponent's next charge phase. So it's a good way of making your opponent's leader useless for a while. I've been waiting for an effect like that, so finally we got it. Because your opponent attacks with his leader, usually it's to draw a card or something like that, or to trigger the leader's effect. So it's good to freeze the leader for one turn. So then we have Rampaging Grade 8 Son Goku. He's a 25k critical blocker. Auto when this card evolves into this. When a card evolves into the card, choose up to one of your opponent's energy in rest mode. That card cannot be switched to active mode until the start of your next turn. Your next turn, not your opponent's next turn, or at the end of their turn. Your next turn. So that's pretty good. A way to slow your opponent down, to put him one energy back for a turn. Then we have Absolute Defense Grade 8 King Vegeta. He's 25k double strike with the permanent effect. All yellow Saiyan cards in your battle area gain barrier. Interesting note, all these grade apes are grade apes in their special trait, but they're also Saiyan in their special traits. So that's useful. Plus, King Vegeta is a Saiyan. No Opening Son Goku is a Saiyan. And of course, even a Mass Saiyan is a Saiyan, in special trait. So, the Grade 8 King Vegeta will give all of those cards barrier. So that's pretty cool. And then his second permanent effect is reduce the combo cost of all Saiyan cards in your hand by 1. So that's very useful, because then this is a free 10k right here. And then of course all your grade apes, you notice they all cost 1 for 10k, and of course when you combo with them, you summon. So if you have the grade ape King Vegeta on the field, all these will cost 0 to combo with, and you're essentially going to evolve for free once you have the King Vegeta, grade ape King Vegeta on the field. So that's pretty cool. Another 20k blocker. This is grade ape Tora. Auto during the turn. After this card combos, you can choose up to 1 Tora and evolve into it. Second auto effect, when a card evolves into this card, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode and KO that card. I read his effect earlier, sorry about that. Now we have Hidden Power Grade 8 Fasha. She's a 15k blocker. Auto, obviously when you combo with her, if you have a Fasha on the field, you can evolve using this card after battle. Second auto ability, when a card evolves into this card, choose up to 2 of your opponent's battle cards and switch them to rest mode. I wish it had also the ability that after you switch them to rest mode, they can't untap in your opponent's next turn, right? To go with the theme of not being able to untap. Not being able to untap.
What are you doing?
Not being able to untap. So when you play this card, now we have King Vegeta, Lord of the Grade Apes, King Vegeta, right? When you play this card, choose up to 1 grade ape with an energy cost 5 or less from your deck and add it to your hand. So he's like another copy of any of these other grade apes, except for the 6-drop Bardock grade ape. But you can get this Son Goku one, you can get his ape form, you can get Fasha, you can get Tora, and add it to your hand. So that's a good way to get the whichever one you specifically need, other than the 6-drop one. Then we have the No Opening Son Goku. During your turn, at the end of the battle, after you combo with this card, if your leader card is yellow, which it is because it's Galactic Frieza, play this card in rest mode. Then choose up to one card in your life and add it to your hand. So it can help you, obviously awaken, as well as, not only do you get a 15k body onto the field for 1 energy, or for free if you already have the Grade Ape King Vegeta on the field, you'll get a body on the field for free, and you'll plus a card from the top from your energy, from your life. So you're getting a lot of advantage out of that. Plus, since he is the Son Goku childhood, you can use him to evolve into his grade 8 form. So that's an extra usefulness of him in the deck. And to go further with the whole one drop combo summoning, we have the Destructive Occupation Frieza. Auto at the end of the battle, after you come up with this card from your hand, if your leader card is yellow, play this card in rest mode. So it's just like another copy of Son Goku. Then we have Mass Saiyan, the Mysterious Warrior. He has Overwhelm 5, so if you have 5 or more cards in your drop area, you can pay 1 energy to banish them all the cards in your drop area into the warp in order to cast this card for 1 energy. It is a 20k double strike, has auto. When you play this card using its Overwhelm ability, choose any number of your opponent's battle cards with blocker for which the total cost adds up to 5 or less, and send them to the warp area. So obviously this card is really good against any deck that doesn't have a lot of blockers. This deck, as you can see, has a lot of blockers, so you don't have to worry about you getting your opponent using Mass Saiyan against your grade apes because they're blockers. But you can use Mass Saiyan against any deck that doesn't have a lot of blockers. So that's part of why he's in there. Plus he's just a good, essentially one drop board wipe. Then of course we have Planet Vegeta, the field card. Auto, at the end of your turn, switch all grade apes in your battle area to active mode. Not just one, not just two, all of them. So if you have 4 on the field, you can attack with all 4, and then all 4 can unattack. Which means since they're all blockers, they can block, which is the best part. So you can attack and defend. That's just powerful. So that's obviously a good card. And then the second effect, which is really useful to use to have this card in the deck, even if you don't care about the whole untapping, the whole active mode part, is the fact that when you place this card into your battle area, choose up to 1 Saiyan with an energy cost 4 or less from your deck and add it to your hand. Then shuffle your deck. I wish it said 5 or less. It would have been way better, because obviously you can use it to search Mass Saiyan, and you'll be able to get, you know, the Great Ape Son Goku, the Ape King Vegeta. But the only real targets for this card effect is Great Ape Tora, Great Ape Fasha, no opening Son Goku, and of course King Vegeta. But at least there's some targets. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 16 targets at least for this card's secondary effect. And then of course you get the first effect of untapping, so that we can always block, which is very powerful. Especially, you see these are 25k blocker, 20k blocker, 25, 15k, another 15. Yeah, that's only 15k. But all the other ones 20 and up, which is always useful to protect your leader with. And of course, to add more to the defense aspect of the deck, we have Flying Nimbus. Counter attack, negate the attack. Then you may place 1 yellow card in your hand into the drop area. If you do so, your opponent can only attack 1 more time with battle cards for the duration of the turn. So you negate 1 attack, and if you want to prevent them from attacking with all their other battle cards, you can pitch a card to allow them to only get 1 more attack, and then that's it. So it's a way cheaper version of Raccoon's Razor Gun, so that's part of why I play it, because it's a cheaper version. I can use it sooner in the game, which is always good. Plus the whole discarding a card to trigger the second part of its effect, will help with Overwhelm, obviously. Then we got Cold Bloodless, of course, because we're using Frieza. Plus Cold Bloodless is very useful against a lot of problematic stuff, and since this deck is more about the main deck strategy, less of the leader, that's why I can just play any leader I choose. I could have played a chilled and just like keep making tokens, because you see a lot of the cards in this deck are like four are like high costs, 6, 5, 5, 4. So it will take a couple turns before I even start dropping some of these big boys onto the field. So it would be nice to have a token generator to keep making 15k since the first turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, just keep on making tokens so I can have something to fight with and combo with until I can, start dropping the heavy hitters. But it's not that deep. I do have the Occupation Frieza, I do have the Son Goku, and the King Vegeta is relatively cheap, and even this Great Ape is relatively cheap. So I'll get some stuff on the board early game. But again, like Cold Blood was really good, so needed a Frieza to play it. A Frieza Ame. Alright, and then of course, for more defense and an extra finisher, a 25k blocker with triple strike, full power Frieza. Auto, when you activate this card's blocker ability, switch this card to active mode after the battle, which is powerful. It's already a 25k, so it's already a good blocker, and it already can stand itself, and you can pretty much infinitely block with it, which is why I like to splash it in any yellow deck. I only need one at any given time, so there's 2 copies there. And that's the end of the deck profile.